Welcome everybody to Good Holistic Healing's YouTube channel, where we are guiding energy to discover a new path. Welcome back everyone to my YouTube channel. I'm Keith Good, Reiki practitioner and spiritual seeker here at Good Holistic Healing. A while back we did a video on what blocks your spiritual growth, what blocks you from following your spiritual path, and in the comments it was asked about what about mental illness? And so we want to touch on that just a little bit today. Now, first off, I want to say I am not a mental health worker. I am not a mental illness expert. My wife is a mental health worker. She is an MSW and an LAC, and she does have a little bit of ideas, and she shares some of the generalities with me. But with that said, I believe that mental illness is running rampant in the United States. I just looked it up online, and according to one source, it says that about 19% of the United States is mentally ill, has some sort of mental illness. However, with that said, I really think that it's higher than that. I really believe that most of us have some sort of mental illness. Why do I say that? Well, because as soon as you say somebody is mentally ill, as soon as you put the stigma of mental illness on them, that may suggest that you are mentally ill, that you have to judge them. So I believe a lot of people, if not all, are mentally ill. Much higher percentage certainly than what I read online. I know I've been mentally ill, and I probably still am mentally ill. I still get depressed. I still have anxieties. I still have something that happened in my past that made me, or I created a situation where I wanted to hide things and become an active alcoholic. I've been in recovery for several years now, but my point is that we all have a mental illness that is society accepts. I think society in a whole is possibly mentally ill, because we have the prejudices, we have the judgments being made that help create it. The pressures that we go through, the religious pressures, the governmental pressures, the societal pressures, the family pressures, the peer pressures, all help to create this. Even what they call generational dysfunction creates this societal mental illness. What is generational dysfunction? Generational dysfunction is basically when as people were traumatized in the past by other people, either through, gosh, you can go back clear to biblical times when there were slaves around and so forth, and then people reacted to slavery, and people reacted to slavery here, people reacted to being put down because of our ethnicity, or because of our color, or because of our whatever, can create a dysfunctional there that is passed down from generation to generation, therefore creating a generational dysfunction, and therefore creating a societal dysfunction and a societal mental illness. So what can we do about it? I don't know what the solution is. What I do know is that we should be kinder to people, more loving, more compassionate, live spiritually. If we looked at everybody as an equal, because we are all equal. If we looked at ourselves and tried to help ourselves, these all help in solving the mental illness problem. If we all lived spiritually in everything we did, we would then be coming together as a society to create a society that is uplifting, non-judgmental, and spiritual. And that would help a tremendous amount in in all these mental illnesses, as well as a lot of other things that go on, we would be able to live in joy. We would be able to be compassionate. We would be able to have the love for other people that we should. And we'd be kind to other people. And in turn, as we all know, or as we should all know, we get back what we give out. So if you give out love, you'll get back love. If you give out hate, you'll get back hate. If you give out joy, you'll get back joy. So it's what you put out there and how you deal with yourself. Now, there are ways of dealing with mental illness. You have, if you feel you have individual mental illness and you want to bring yourself to a point of being more spiritual and being more one with the universe, you can see a mental health professional. You can have energy work done. I'm a big proponent of meditation to get inside yourself and find out what you can work on and what can be done. What is brought out to you in a meditation. That doesn't mean contemplative meditation. That means real meditation. What you can also go to any kind of people that might be able to help you, whether it be a spiritual mentor or a clergyman of whatever faith you are. There are many ways of at least getting started so that you can get inside yourself, because ultimately you have to do the work. You have to get inside yourself. You have to find ways that work for you. What I say works for me doesn't necessarily work for you. So you have to find what works for you, and you have to find your people that will support you. You have to find the people that will really do the work with you to help you. Shadow work is another great way of dealing with things, and that includes a lot of these things put together. I'm doing my own shadow work right now, and where I'm trying to share as much as I can with you. Some of it doesn't come out on a regular basis, but you can do many things to help yourself with mental illness, and how you do that is completely and ultimately the way of solving this, because it is inside of you. We are all worth it. God did not make any junk. We are all worth what we are. We are all part of this universe. We are all one with this universe. We are all together and being the whole, as well as being the individual person, the individual soul. So there is help out there. There is a way of dealing with this inside yourself. In my opinion, part of the biggest issue is seeking that help, because there is a stigma around mental health problems. And as soon as you admit to yourself that you have a mental health problem, then other people have that stigma, and then it goes onto your records that you are clinically depressed, or this or that, or whatever it might be. I'm just using that one for an example. And that can create issues in society today. That's why society in general has to become more healthy. And the way to make society healthy is for one person at a time to become healthy in and of themselves by admitting that there is an issue, and by dealing with each other. By dealing with themselves. So the stigma involved in this is very, very traumatic in and of itself. And the person that says, oh, that person's mentally ill, he's not as good as, then they're saying that they themselves are mentally ill, because now they are judging, now they are this. I know that because I'm mentally ill, and I have done my judgment. I don't do as well as I should with accepting everybody as one. I strive at that. That's what my spiritual seeking is partially about. I strive to become one with the universe. I strive to be non-judgmental. I strive to be the person that I'm supposed to be spiritually. I strive to make my spirit be one with me and listen to it. So, mental illness is a big deal. Mental illness has a stigma around it. Mental illness can only be solved in this world if we all look at it together and inside ourselves. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means for you. You have to determine that yourself. Just remember one thing in particular. You are worth it. You are part of the universe. You are a child of the universe. You are a child of God. You are a spirit within the whole. And only you are part of that whole. And the more we have societal mental illness, generational dysfunction, individual mental illness, the more that stigma is, the more we have to work on it as a society, as to go and repair and become healthy as an individual and as a society. Now, I guess one of the things that I want to bring out is that you don't get society to come together to become healthy. What you get is society becoming healthy, one person at a time, one individual working on themselves to become healthy and putting out that which is what they want to get back by dealing with this issue and showing and becoming so that you can admit that there is a problem and helping to relieve that stigma. The stigma is probably the biggest issue coming around with it. Stigma puts you down. Stigma puts you down to a point where there is absolutely no way you want to become part of that stigma. But the more of us that could become vulnerable by admitting things, the more of us that deal with that vulnerability becomes a freedom of such a manner that it will be put out. It'll be put out into society by you putting yourself out there, by this other individual and this other individual and every individual that wants to change and not be afraid of it. And I know that's difficult, and I know that's very, very idealistic. But just as every other thing that has happened in this world, it always is one person that starts it, and then another person goes along, another person goes along, another person goes along, and it changes the things. Human rights happened that way in the 60s. That's just an example I know of that I lived through. And so all of this takes one person at a time to admit, to admit to the issues, to admit to whatever it is that they want to deal with, to go inside of themselves and deal with it, find the help they need to deal with it, and become healthy in and of themselves and portray that out to the world so that they can see how liberating this is and how healthy you can become and how other people can follow in their way to do this healing that we need to do. Changes are happening, as we've seen in this world, and with those changes, we can see it. We can see that there's a tremendous amount of people trying to become healthy, and it takes time. It might take a generation or two. I don't know how long it takes. I don't know what's going on. I'm not a fortune teller. I can't see into the future. But I know that the way to change this, and with the changes that are going on, that is if we don't raise our vibration, if we don't become one with the universe, then there's a chance that there's going to be other issues happening. What those issues are, I can't tell you because I have no idea. But let's go out there and become one with the universe. Let's go out there and do what it is to become healthy individually so that we can break the dysfunction of the generational dysfunction so that we can become a healthy society and become a healthy person in the same time. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. I certainly would appreciate all the comments we have on this because this is a very important issue. We need to break the stigma. We need to get healthy. Thank you all for watching today. I appreciate you being here for this video and seeing how things go. Until next time. Visit me at goodsholistic.healing.com to see what is being offered, as well as upcoming events and other offerings of services rendered.